Peace, peace, peace. So we back in the building, y'all, dealing with the Darrell Brooks trial. This right here is dealing with, like we said before, the state is an entity and cannot be brought forth so that, the defendant can face their accuser. See, because like he's about to break down, according to the Sixth Amendment, he has the right to face his accuser. You know what I'm saying? But what they're about to do is deny him the right to face his accuser, which is basically denying him due process of law and denying him the constitutional right of the Sixth Amendment, which is the right to face your accuser. Now, we broke that down before, and when I said how the state is an entity and how, you have the right to face your accuser and all that good stuff. But watch how he keeps on stating this, keeps on stating it. They keep denying. The judge is just mad because he knows the law. He knows the process. She's used to people coming in there just being dumb. They just overrule them, do what they do, and just, keep it moving because that's the system. No. He keeps pausing her because she keeps denying him due process of law. You understand what I'm saying? This judge is mad wicked, yo. You know what I'm saying? And she mad because, like I said, he came in there, kicking that nigger knowledge, as they would call it. And he's an educated man of melanin. So she's mad because he's in here speaking up intelligently. Now, if you look at, facial expressions tell it all. If you look at the bailiff behind him, the cop behind him, he's looking like, because he's been listening to the whole thing the whole time. Now, and I've been seeing his facial expressions. At some points of it, he was looking at him like, oh, come on, man, blah, 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 blah. But then at other points, when he's speaking his truth, he's looking at him like, yo, he is right. And then he look at the judge like, see, you're making it worse. Because when he does appeal this case, you're going to mess around and get yourself fired or some shit or get yourself in trouble because you're blatantly denying him what he's asking. You see what I'm saying? Like, for real. And they know that's what they're doing. So, this is the whole part now. Peep how she keeps denying. He's stating straight facts, but she's just going to deny just because she can. And this is the bullshit. So let's go.
And you have simply put on here, state of Wisconsin plaintiff that's an entity, not the name of person, sir. Well, the date we would fill in. So I'll have it shown to the state, and they can let me know their position on that.
Legal basis why that would not be accepted, Your Honor.
Now listen. And Pete, right? She says the state and they can let me know their position on that. What do you mean they and their? As if the state consists of multiple people. No, the state is an entity as you quoted. So what are you talking about they and their? As if it's actual people. See how see what I'm saying? Like she's trying to make it seem like it's actual people, but she knows it's not people, it's an entity. So stop trying to confuse the shit, man. You know what I mean? Like, see, and this is the whole thing, y'all. This is the whole fraud. This judge, like every other judge, has to uphold the fraud, not uphold the Constitution that they took an oath to. They have to uphold the fraud of the court. Every court is operating in fraud. This is all color of law, the appearance of law, and they're committing fraud and misrepresentation every single time. Every single time. This is not a doubt. It's just how the shit is set up. Every time you come in the courtroom, they're doing misrepresentation and fraud. That's why I said in my rhyme, I said, looks like I'm going back to court. About to put a suit on the law. Misrepresentation and fraud. It's that court shit. It's that law shit. Looks like I'm going back to court. About to put a suit on the law for misrepresentation and fraud. It's that law shit. It's that court shit. You know what I mean? But yeah, this is what they do, man. They denying him the due process of law. This is what they doing right now.
A person named Sir.
Person.
So that they can come and testify. You only have an entity named.
See?
Is it not true that under the Sixth Amendment I have the right to face my accuser?
Right. And they know that.
Mr. Brooks, let me hear from the state.
They know that. Mr. Brooks, let me hear from the state.
Yes, Your Honor, I agree.
She keep trying to deny.
The
Keep trying to
subpoena does
deny.
not state a person. The subpoena form specifically indicates that the person requesting the subpoena is to indicate the witness's name and address. Mr. Brooks has simply written the word State of Wisconsin plaintiff for the witness name. State of Wisconsin is an entity, it's not a person.
See?
The State of Wisconsin cannot testify at these proceedings, so the subpoena should be rejected, Your Honor.
Yo, wait a minute. Look, how they trying to look? See how they trying to flip it around? They're trying to use reverse psychology about the fraud. No, if he stated that he needs to face his accuser, which you guys are putting in the report, the plaintiff is the state of blah blah blah, which you say is an entity. So he says he has the right to face his accuser. But now y'all trying to flip it around and play the game. Well, you can't face your accuser because the state is an entity. So we can't bring them on the stand. All right then, man. So that means that you're bringing an invalid claim, which is misrepresentation and fraud. Okay? But no, they want to flip it around on him to make it seem like he's in the wrong. Oh, he's trying to challenge his accuser, but he's stating that the accuser is the state, and the state is an entity. See how they playing the game, y'all? They're playing fucking games, man.
Yeah, Your Honor, on the grounds that every document that was filed in this matter stated that the state of Wisconsin was the plaintiff.
Listen.
Would lead me to believe that the state of Wisconsin is who's bringing the claim against my client. How could they not be subpoenaed to testify if they're the plaintiff? And under the Sixth Amendment, I have the right to face my accuser. My accuser in this matter is the plaintiff, which is the state of Wisconsin.
Exactly.
Attorney Opper also brought up that it didn't have an address on there. None of my subpoenas had addresses as we went on the record, and that was state.
Exactly, because a state, which is a paper document, doesn't have an address. You see what I'm saying? So now you can't put the state under territorial jurisdiction or personam jurisdiction because they're saying it's not a person. See what I'm saying? So this is the games they play, y'all. This is the games that they play. Pay attention.
That a lot of the paperwork that I have don't have a lot of the people's addresses on there, and those subpoenas were accepted, so I don't see.
Right, and so now if he can't face the state as the accuser, but yet the state can bring forth witnesses that he can question. No, not as he's about to say, none of the witnesses are listed as plaintiffs. None of the witnesses are bringing an actual claim against him. So when he questions the witnesses, he's not facing his accuser. That's not the accuser. None of the witnesses are the plaintiff. So he's not challenging his accuser, which is the plaintiff. See what I'm saying? So this is the games they play, man. They're trying to play tricky games. But this is why I recorded this and broke this down so y'all can understand the process and, you know, how they do with this bullshit.
Difference with this subpoena not being accepted for the reasons that Attorney Opper just stated.
Guys, it's time to stop treating your groins like junk. Introducing the new Intimate Pubic Hair Trimmer from Gillette.
Oh, shut up. Hate commercials.
Mr. Brooks, in relation to that subpoena, based upon my review for completeness, this court would note you have not named a person, you've named an entity.
See?
The subpoena will be...
See, they trying to use reverse psychology. No, he exposed the fact that he can't face his accuser because the plaintiff is an entity. That's what he's explaining. But he still has the right to face his accuser. And since the state is not a person to speak, then there is no accuser. There's no one here to bring a claim. None of these witnesses are bringing a claim. They are not defined as the plaintiff. They're not bringing a complaint. You understand? So they are not the one he is to face as the accusers, not the witnesses by the state or from the state. And really, I'm going to show y'all another video how this first witness they put up here, this bitch was straight lying. And then when he poked holes in her story, she starts to get the whole dramatic white woman. Well, I was just worried about my daughter and shut the fuck. We don't want to hear that shit, man. Stop it, man. White women be lying. They professional liars. So anyway, that's the bullshit they try to run. You know what I mean? But
kept on file as part of the court record, but I'm not going to require the state of Wisconsin to testify in this case because they are an entity and have not named a person.
See what I'm saying?
They
saying he hasn't named the person. No, you haven't named the person. When y'all put this whole court case together, the state of versus this man, Darrell Brooks, you didn't say, well, this particular person who's an injured party is bringing this claim against Darrell Brooks. They didn't say that. They're saying the state versus blah, blah, blah. And then they try to put up witnesses who are not even people who were harmed. None of these witnesses are injured parties, because you have to bring forth an injured party for there to be a claim. You understand what I'm saying? And especially in a criminal manner, which they're trying to say this is. So come on, man. Stop the bullshit.
They are the plaintiff in this case, sir.
See?
And why are they not able to testify being that
Exactly.
You've named an entity, not a person.
Oh, my God.
People are called to the witness stand
All
to
right.
testify. You have had an opportunity to cross-examine.
Yeah, people are called to testify on behalf of the state, not as the state itself. So the state itself, like they said, is an entity. So therefore, since the state itself is an entity, the state should not be able to bring claims or be a plaintiff because they're not an actual person, as they say, right? So the state should not be allowed to do that at all. So they're basically committing a commercial, fictional fraud. They're using this fictional entity known as the state to bring a claim against him, but yet he can never challenge the state because the state is not a person. So therefore, he can never challenge his accuser. He can never face his accuser. You see the bullshit? So you just asked out, oh, well, since the state is an entity, I can't face my accuser, so I guess I just got to lose this trial. Come on, man. No, man, this is bullshit, man. This is misrepresentation and fraud. You understand? So every time you go in the courtroom, this is what they're doing, regardless to whom or what. Whenever it's the state versus or the people versus, this is fraud. It's all fraud and misrepresentation.
And every single person who has been called by the state to testify in this trial, that your Sixth Amendment rights have been complied with.
Really?
I'm not allowed to face my accuser, Your Honor.
Exactly.
My accuser in this matter would be the state of Wisconsin. And with all due
Your
respect,
Sixth Amendment rights in that regard has been complied with.
Oh, come on.
I'm requesting a written judicial finding of fact and conclusion of law on this issue for the grounds that I just stated. It was seen, based on the Sixth Amendment, that I'm not being awarded the chance to face my accuser, which I should be awarded that based on the Sixth Amendment. If I'm not able to face my accuser, then how can the claim even stand? How can the claim be brought against my client if I'm not able to face the accuser?
So this case is a criminal case in a court of competent jurisdiction in the state of Wisconsin, Waukesha County. This case was initiated initially by the filing of a criminal complaint. Then there was a preliminary hearing where probable cause was found. After that point, there was an information that was filed. And at some point, an amended complaint, perhaps even a second amended complaint, was filed as well, putting you on notice of the charges and the factual basis for those charges, along with the statutes that are alleged to have been violated. I'm not going to explain any further why you can't call the state of Wisconsin in the way that you've subpoenaed them or attempted to subpoena them for the reasons I've already stated. I understand you might disagree.
Is that because it's fraud? Is that because you don't want to admit the fraud of the court? She just said, I'm not going to further explain why, blah, blah, blah. What do you mean you're not going to explain? That's your job. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's not giving legal advice, because they always trying to use that excuse. Well, I'm not here to give you legal advice, sir. I can't give you legal advice. Bitch, we're not asking for legal advice. We're asking for transparency and full disclosure, okay? That's the legal terminology you want to use in the court, since they want to try to play their fucking games, okay? Like nobody know the court language. Bitch, we asking for full disclosure and transparency. Nothing should be hidden from the people, the jury, or the record. You understand? But this is what they do. Pardon my language, y'all. I'm a little frustrated about this because I've experienced the same thing, man. And I know how they go through and they lie. You understand? And they just be so fucking ignorant to the truth. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm like, yo, come on, man. This is some BS, man. You know what I mean? That's why I make this video, so y'all can see the truth and never be fooled by this nonsense. It's what they do.
With the court's ruling, but my ruling stands, and I'm not requiring the plaintiff in this case to serve that subpoena in any way for the defects I've already noted.
May I state for the record?
I'm also not going to issue a written decision on that. The record speaks for itself.
Wow.
May I state?
You're not going to issue a written decision? So that means that you're just basically making this decision just off of some, I'm doing it because I can. What are you going to do about it type shit? Like, oh, well, deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, really? Come on, man. This is acting what you call ultra-virusly, outside of your legal authority. She's acting ultra-virusly. She's acting outside of her legal authority. She has no legal authority to do what she's doing. She's just doing the bullshit because she doesn't want to expose the fraud of the court, which is, like they've already said, the state is an entity and you can't face your accuser because they're an entity. So he never gets to face his accuser. So he's denied due process of law and denied his Sixth Amendment.
For the record, Your Honor, that I have not even seen a complaint in this matter, and the jurisdiction still has yet to be proven, which is another thing that needs to be challenged. There has not been proven that there's subject matter jurisdiction as of yet. There's no verified proof of it. There's no verified proof of even a claim, especially if I'm not allowed to face my accuser. And I don't understand how you can make that judicial decision, Your Honor, when it's clear discrepancies in the paperwork of this matter. Like I said, I have yet to see jurisdiction be proven. It has not been proven. I have yet to see a complaint. I have not seen that.
The court has provided you with, I believe it was the second amended criminal complaint, along with the information that was provided to you previously and noted on the record. I've already addressed your motion to dismiss previously. I'm not going to revisit that. There's no legal basis requiring me to do that, sir. The plaintiff in this matter has presented witnesses to establish venue. And again, as I know.
No. See, now listen, she said provided witnesses to establish venue. So what she's trying to say is that the state, which is an entity and cannot take the stand, they've provided witnesses. So basically, to fulfill the shoes of an actual person getting on the stand, we're going to send witnesses. But okay, these witnesses are not the actual plaintiff. So just because you send so-called witnesses and they're not the plaintiff, what do they bear witness to? Like, they can't speak on behalf of the state. Do they work for the state? Are they employed by the state? Oh no, they're wards of the state. They're state property. They're just regular so-called citizens that they can manipulate with their fake court authority. Get on that stand. You better say what we say, or we're gonna make up a charge against you. You better go help us hang this nigger. You know what I'm saying? You better get up there and lie. Listen, now we rehearse backstage, okay? So when we come on stage, because they're all acting, this is all an act. So they rehearse the person backstage, and when you come on stage, this is what we need you to say, okay? You looked over these notes? You heard? Okay, we ran it down to you. Now, when you get up there, this is what we want you to say. See? And I'm going to show you in the next video, because this one is kind of long because I'm commentating. But the next video, I'm going to show you how this so-called witness gets up there and she's just straight lying. And you know what I could tell is that, and then they put the husband up there after her. They put the woman up there first for her to give her little fake dramatics and sniffles and, oh my God, and do the little fake shit to try to create the emotion in the court. Then they had the man come through and act like, yeah, I'm a man, I'm going to back that up. I was there to support my wife and blah, blah, blah. Nigga, your wife probably wasn't even in that damn parade. She wasn't even there. She was lying. They gave her a story and she tried to go along with that shit, but he poked mad holes in her story. But anyway, that's for the next one.
Previously, it's a criminal case with criminal charges with a second amended criminal complaint detailing the factual basis upon which these charges are based. We're a notice pleading state. And along with the information, you've been made aware.
Hold up, she said we're a notice pleading state. So where is the notice that was pled? That was pleaded. Where? What notice? You didn't give no notice. See what I'm saying? Like, this bitch is lying, man. She's talking all this technical shit, but you ain't doing none of that shit you saying. You're just trying to say for the record, no, we do things fairly. This is how we do it, blah, blah, blah. But you're not doing it fairly. You're lying. And you're denying him due process of law. And you're trying to uphold the fraud.
Aware of all of the charges and the penalties you face and the factual basis upon which the state has brought these charges.
The state.
We are in the middle of trial. Your objections are noted. We will continue today with the jury trial.
No, obviously he brought that up from the beginning, that the state is an entity and he has the right to face it. This is all in his documentation. He brought all of this shit up from the beginning, and he's been stating all of this stuff the whole trial. But they just been denying him like he's just talking some sovereign citizen rhetoric, which some of it might be. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, when he talk about that law shit and their constitution and all that, he's right on point with that. And they can't deny that because that's out of your own constitution. You took an oath to uphold that constitution, right? So why don't you honor it? See what I'm saying? They are never in honor. They want to tell you, you got to stay in honor. Don't create no controversy in the court. Don't do this. Don't do that. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But they do all of that. They do all of that which they tell you not to do. See what I'm saying? And what shows a conflict of interest, like I said before in the other video, the prosecutor, the prosecutor, and that's why you never want to represent yourself pro se, because you don't want to be prosecuted. See what I'm saying? Because when you represent pro se, they're going to send the prosecutor after you. But anyway, so this is all fraud, man. You know what I'm saying? The prosecutor's lying, they're lying. Oh, and the judge and the prosecutor is working together. So that's basically a conflict of interest. You know what I'm saying? They're both allegedly employed by the Bar Association. The judge is employed by the Bar Association and the prosecutor is employed by the Bar Association. So straight off the back, that's a conflict of interest. You see what I'm saying? That's another thing, y'all. Conflict of interest. They both working for the same team. They on the same side. That's a conflict of interest. Even when, let's say you go in a courtroom and they give you a public defendant and they give the other person a public defender, they both work for the public defense. This is a conflict of interest. And the reason why, because, when you walk out of that courtroom and you and your lawyer and the other person's lawyer is sitting in there, guess what they start doing? They start chuckling it up. They start, yeah, Joe, come on. You seen what I was trying to say. How could you even try to challenge me on that? I seen it, I seen it with my own eyes. I've stayed in the courtroom when they talk about, let's take a recess. No, I went back in that courtroom. I sat down and watched how they chuckle it up and how they're really buddy-buddy with each other. But during this case, they're acting like they're going against each other. They're on the same fucking side, y'all. They're on the same side. You understand what I'm saying? They're on the same side. That's why they always try to ask you to excuse the room when they take break. I'm not going nowhere. I got a right to sit in here. I want to see what y'all be talking about. And what they be talking about is the case, which they're not supposed to do off the record. They're not, and even in the presence of the court, they're not supposed to be doing that. But they do exactly that. You know what I'm saying? So, come on, man.
For the record, may I respectfully move for an interlocutory declaratory appeal on this matter, Your Honor?
Denied.
Your request is noted for the record. I'm not an appellate court, sir.
Now listen what she said. She's not an appellate court. You heard what she said. Now watch when she goes on and contradict herself.
For the record, may I move to stay these proceedings until this instant matter is adjudicated by a court of competent jurisdiction.
Exactly. Your request is denied.
Based on what law?
Exactly, because she knows they're not in a competent court. Like, bitch, you're not even acting like you competent right now. You acting like you don't understand what he's saying. Bitch, he quoting your constitution. You don't understand that? You don't remember that? What you took an oath to uphold? You don't remember that? Oh, really? But so, like I said, they just denying him just because they can. See what I'm saying? And this is what they do, y'all.
A fact, Your Honor.
I've previously addressed the issue, sir.
No, you
Based
haven't.
on law of the case.
Are you making a judicial determination that I'm not awarded my Sixth Amendment right to face my accuser?
I'm not making any such determination here today.
Yes, you are.
They are taking away our rights and flooding our communities with assault weapons.
Oh, really?
And they're counting on you to do nothing. But you do have a choice. You can vote.
You can vote. Really? That's going to change it, right?
In Louisiana, Tony Sacheries is always part of the holidays. Our injectable marinade on...
All right.
With law
I'm
found.
going to turn to the district attorney's office. Do you have a witness available?
Yes, we're ready to proceed, Your Honor.
All right, our jurors here. All right, the jurors will be brought out, sir.
Hold on. The district attorney's office? So the district attorney's office has made the state the plaintiff. See, so the state is simply a fictional character created by the district attorney's office, you know what I'm saying, that they use in cases as the plaintiff. But it's not an actual, living being, so no one could ever face their plaintiff. Look at the black woman face in the back there. See, I told you, facial expressions say a lot. See that black woman face? She know this is injustice. You know what I'm saying? She see it. You know what I'm saying? And then look at their faces. See how mad they look? Like, oh man, this fucking nigger challenging us, making us look bad. Yeah, exactly, because y'all all liars. Y'all all liars. Now y'all got to fiddle around with your paperwork and try to get it together.
Your Honor, with all due respect for the record, you're avoiding my questions.
Exactly.
Mr. Brooks, I've addressed the issues that need to be addressed this
No,
morning.
you haven't.
I've also addressed the same issues probably every day we've been in court. I know you may be dissatisfied with the response that I'm providing to you, but my responses stand.
It's not a dissatisfaction, Your Honor. It's a lack of understanding, which I don't have. I don't even understand the true nature and cause of the charges. And
Mr. Brooks, you've been made aware of them multiple times.
No, the reason why he don't understand the nature is because you're saying the state is an entity and the state is not a person, but yet he has the right to face his accuser and he's being denied that. So, no, you don't understand the nature and the cause of any of this.
I do not understand
I
it, is what I'm saying.
encourage you once again, if you don't understand anything, to seek the advice of an attorney.
See? So, if you don't want to let us rule over you as state property, get an attorney, so then you'll definitely be state property. And then he's just going to turn you over to us. Because that's what his job is. That's what the attorney's job is to do. To turn you over to the jurisdiction of the court. That's what his job is to do. How does he do that? He calls you a day before court, give you a text, an email or something. Hey, make sure you're in court. Be there early. You don't want to make the judge mad and, blah, 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 blah. And then, he preps you to come to court. Why is he doing that? So that he could take you all the way through the trial and wait till those performance bonds mature and so he could get his payment bond for his performance. You see what I'm saying? They work off of performance bonds and payment bonds. And if you go into jail, he's going to form a bid bond, which is a bond that he get paid off of based upon how long you're going to be in jail doing that bid. It's called a bid bond. See what I'm saying? So this is how they get paid, off of bonds, performance bonds, payment bonds, bid bonds. And they never file what's called their indemnity bonds. See, like right now, he could sue all of them for their indemnity bonds because their indemnity bond is supposed to protect them or protect the public from their lack of practice or their malpractice. So if they do something wrong to harm the public, they're supposed to be indemnified for that, which is basically saying they get off if they do something wrong. But they haven't even filed those things because they don't see a need to. You know what I'm saying? And they don't want to be held accountable for those type of bonds. So they don't even bother filing those. You know what I mean?
I cannot give you legal advice.
Oh, that's another. Oh, I swear I hate that. You know how many times I've heard that from the fake ass magistrate? I am not here to give you legal advice, sir. Well, I'm not asking for legal advice. I'm asking for full disclosure and transparency, which means everything has to be transparent. We need to see clearly through all of this. Nothing should be cloudy or misunderstood or none of that.
I'm not asking for that, Your Honor.
Exactly.
I'm merely asking why are my constitutional rights being prejudiced?
Exactly.
It states under the Sixth Amendment that I have the
Sir,
right.
I've already addressed this.
Stop it. See when he bring up the Constitution, she want to overtalk him? Why are you overtalking the Constitution? He's quoting the law that you stand on. Why are you overtalking that? Because she don't want to hear that shit. Because she knows she's in violation. So she don't want to hear that at all. See what I'm saying? She knows she's in violation.
Okay. We're not going to have any further argument on this topic.
Oh, really?
Right. Your Sixth Amendment rights are being honored.
No, they're not. They're not.
No differently than any other defendant that has appeared in my court.
Have any other defendant not been awarded the opportunity to face their accuser?
Mm-hmm.
You are facing your accuser, sir. Every single witness who's been on this stand, you have cross-examined.
Whoa! The witnesses are not the accuser. See what I'm saying? See, listen to what she's saying. She's lying. And she knows better as a judge. Come on, look, I'm not a damn judge. If I can break this shit down and know the wordplay and all of that, then she damn sure knows. She's a judge. She's been doing this shit for years. She know what she's talking about or should be saying. Come on, man. Don't play dumb. If I know this shit, then I damn sure know she knows it.
None of those witnesses are making a claim. None of those witnesses are
plaintiff.
The plaintiff. None of those witnesses are identified as the injured party.
Exactly.
The injured party has to make the claim, Your Honor.
That's
right. My opinion that your belief as it relates to that.
No. That's not a belief. That's fact. That is the legal process. She knows that. Stop denying him due process, ma'am. Stop it. You really looking real bad. And like she said before, she's not an appealing court. But watch her say, well, I have to stand on the decisions of the appealing courts and blah, blah, blah. It's higher laws that I have to bear witness to. Okay, so if that's the case, then why when he said he wants to appeal this, and she just keeps saying, okay, you're whatever, it's noted for the record. Let's continue. Like, so in other words, it don't matter. You can note everything for the record all you want, but she's just gonna overlook the record anyway. What does it matter? You know what I mean? But the whole point of the record, y'all, so whenever you're stating things for the record, is basically because you plan to appeal. Because right now, you can see that the technology they running right now. So he has to state everything for the record so that when he appeals this case, he got all of this on record. How many times he was denied due process, how she clearly denied him due process, even after he explained it to her. Like, come on, man. On some real shit, if he lives long enough, because, you know, I mean, no disrespect, and I am not wishing this on this brother, but he was accused of harming a whole lot of white people. So, you know, when he get in that jail, I don't know what may happen to this brother. You know what I'm saying? But if he happens to survive, if he survives, you know what I'm saying, then he has a crazy, when he appeals this shit, oh man, he got some crazy lawsuits, and that judge is gonna lose her fucking job. For real. She's not gonna be sitting on that bench anymore. You understand? She's straight fraud.
It's mistaken. It's not a lawful argument, and it's frivolous. I've directed your attention once again to the vanity.
It's frivolous to her because she's standing there with her arms all crossed up, thinking she got all this authority as a fake ass judge. No, bitch, you're a liar, and you know you wrong, and you standing there on false principles. Like, this is not justice. See that black robe she got on? That black robe's supposed to represent justice. This is not justice. This is just ice. This is just I see equality. You see what I'm saying? This is her way of saying, no, it's what I see. I don't have to be just. It's what I see. You know what I'm saying? It's what I see as equal. They don't have to be just. You know what I mean? Just I see equality. That's her just I see equality. This ain't justice. This is just ice.
Decision.
This is just ice. They keep giving him the cold shoulder. Every time he says something, they give him just ice. Well, yeah, whatever. Next. You know what I'm saying? This is just ice. This is not justice. This is not the reward for good or the penalty for bad. That's not what she's doing. Because if anything, she should be punished for all her wrong.
Is that not a federal case in the United States?
You're asking me for legal advice. I'm not going to provide that.
I'm just asking what what kind of case it was. Was it federal Supreme
It's
Court
a Seventh
case?
Circuit Court of Appeals case. We're in the Seventh Circuit, sir.
But you just stated that you're not a
Exactly.
Court of Appeals.
Thank you.
But you're citing.
She said we're in the Seventh Circuit Court, sir. But you just said you're not an appellate court. So what are you to see how she just contradicted herself? Come on, man. Let's bring that back real fast.
Is that not a federal case in the United States?
You're asking me for legal advice. I'm not going to provide that to you, sir.
I'm just asking what kind of case it was. Was it federal Supreme Court?
It's a Seventh Circuit Court of Appeals case. We're in the Seventh Circuit, sir.
But you just said you're not an appellate court. See? Listen, man. See, this is why you gotta pay attention, man. This is why you gotta pay attention.
You just stated that you're not a Court of Appeals, but you're citing the Court of Appeals case.
No, the Court of Appeals case law applies to this court, sir. I'm bound by legal precedent from the various courts that are above me.
And you're still not explaining how I'm not able to face my accuser, which is my Sixth Amendment constitutional right.
Sir, I'm not going to explain the law to you. I've made my decision.
Oh, because y'all don't uphold the Constitution. Y'all make a false claim to uphold the Constitution, but you really don't. You're just going off of your statutes, penal codes, and blah, 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 and all that bullshit of the state. Y'all not going by the Constitution. You see what I'm saying? So, come on, man. This is fraud. This is all fraud.
Decision, it stands.
I'm not arguing that part of it, Your Honor. I'm just merely stating for the record.
Yeah, I heard the door. Okay, thank you.
I'm merely stating for the record that I should be awarded my Sixth Amendment right to face my accuser.
Your objection is noted, sir, once again. We'll continue this morning. Thank you.
None of the witnesses that testify are the accuser. None of the witnesses that testify are the injured party, which the claim has to be made by a living, breathing human being.
Sir, I think you're confusing civil law with criminal law.
No, we not.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not confusing any law. The Constitution says that I have the right to face my accuser.
Exactly.
And under the Sixth Amendment, I'm not being awarded that constitutional right. I think that definitely needs to be on record, and that definitely is an issue that needs to be raised.
Your objection is noted, sir. If you believe I've erred in that regard, you can raise that issue on appeal if you are.
Oh, see? Oh, see? Oh, yeah, see, it's noted. If you think I have error on that issue, you can do it in your appeal. See? She knows she's in error. That's why she keeps saying, well, yeah, it's noted for the record. If you want to appeal, go ahead. But after we slap you with this 150 years we about to slap you with, then, it won't even matter. You know what I'm saying? And once we close this case with prejudice, then you won't be able to challenge it again. Because that's definitely what they're going to try to do. They're going to try to close this shit with prejudice. You know what I'm saying? I mean, part of without prejudice, meaning that they don't have to visit it again. They don't have to bring back the matter again. They're going to try to close it without prejudice. You know what I'm saying?
May I put Your Honor on notice that I intend to appeal that decision?
Your statement's noted for the record.
Yeah, see, and that's all she's gonna do is note it for the record.
Is that a judicial determination I will not be able to face my accuser, Your Honor?
I have not made any such determinations.
Yes, you are.
Will you be making a judicial determination?
You verbally making the decision right now because you're denying him. Every time he asking you, you're denying him. Like, what do you got to do? File another motion or some shit? Like, come on, man. Stop the bullshit. Like, get out of here. You be filing 1,000 motions in their damn court and they just deny them all. But this is another thing I learned too. Don't file a bunch of motions. Fuck a motion. File another petition. Because the motion that you filed may not be exactly pertaining to the original petition that you filed. That's another thing you got to remember. So if you want to bring up another issue, file another petition and bring it forth in a whole nother case. Because if you make a motion based upon the original petition and it's not, I guess, in coercion with the original petition, then they're going to see it as like irrelevant. Like, oh, he's talking about different issues that have nothing to do with the original statements or whatever. So we're going to deny this. That's what they do. So you want to file a whole nother petition if you have another issue. Don't file fuck motions. You know what I'm saying? File a whole nother petition. That's what you got. That's what I learned. See, and like you said, you see how they keep denying him. You got to file a whole nother petition. Fuck the emotions.
Nation.
Sir,
A motion is like a boat in the sea, or like a wave in the sea. It has to move the boat. It has to move the court. So a motion is made to move the court, or have the court do something. You know what I'm saying? So you see how lazy they are. They don't want to move nowhere. They lazy as fuck. So the motions ain't moving the court. You got to file a whole nother petition. You know what I'm saying?
have not made any kind of determination that your Sixth Amendment rights have been violated. On the contrary, I believe this court has honored those rights.
You're lying.
Even with me not being able to face my accuser, which is the state of
Your
Wisconsin. Your
position is noted, sir.
Yes.
It's noted for the record. I've already addressed it.
Is that a judicial determination?
Any individual can get into a car accident. When Carson Scrabble and LeBrock takes on a...
Sir, the record speaks for itself.
Is that a judicial determination?
All right, I believe the jurors are coming out. All rise, please.
See?
Are you going to answer that, Your Honor?
See, and she keep trying to bring the jury in, because once they bring the jury in, he's not supposed to discuss certain lawful or legal matters in front of the jury. So she keeps trying to bring the jury in to try to shut him up. You know what I'm saying? That's what she keep doing.
Or is that a tacit agreement?
I'm not going to answer that further. I've answered it multiple times.
Is it a tacit agreement?
It is not.
Yes, it is.
Then I should be awarded my Sixth Amendment right to face my accuser. Or a judicial determination should be
The
made.
record should reflect that the jurors...
Look. You see the bailiff in the background getting ready. Like, all right, this guy says what she told him not to say. I'm gonna have to arrest him, or I'm gonna have to remove him from the court. Like, he's just ready to so-called do his job.
Are coming in for the morning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
The record should also reflect that I received no answer to that question.
See? Look, she denying him and making her little smirks like, stop saying this in front of the jury. You're making me look bad. You're making me look like I'm denying you due process in front of the jury. Stop doing this. Stop doing that. No, bitch, you stop lying and denying him due process in front of the whole fucking court and on the record. That's what you need to stop doing. But she just mad because she looking embarrassed. Stop being a liar. Stop upholding this fraud. And you won't look bad. But that's all you doing, so of course you're going to look bad. And I'm going to leave it paused on that because she in a walk of shame right now. She in a stance of shame right now. But anyway, y'all, so this is what they do in these courts, man. That's why I break this down for y'all, man. You know, for those who may not know, now you know. You know what I mean? This is how it goes. This is what they do. This is the bull-ish. So, you want to, Moquan Divine commented on my thing earlier. He was saying how if the defendant, if he filed his documents, you know what I'm saying, because you have to respond to the complaint. You know what I'm saying? Your paperwork has to be in response to the complaint. So when you respond to it, then you have grounds in the court, because now you have a written, saying response that you're standing on. But a lot of times we try to verbally, state things, and they be like, well, that's not in your paperwork, so they just overlook it. Even though it may be 100% true, you got to put all that truth in your paperwork when you first respond to whatever accusation is brought against you. The first thing you got to do is respond to the paperwork. Whatever the written statement is against you, respond to that. Don't wait for the trial to respond to the people they put up there and all of that. Respond to that written complaint against you. That's what you have to respond to. And since you understand this whole court process now, these are the specific things you're going to put in your paperwork when you respond to any type of, accusation or whatever. You're going to state that the state is an entity, therefore I'm never going to get the chance to face my accuser, and therefore I'm being denied my Sixth Amendment right. Therefore, I asked from the beginning that this case be dismissed due to lack of due process of law, due to the denial of due process of law. You know what I'm saying? State that shit from the jump. So learn all of this stuff. Go over these videos. Learn this stuff. And if you ever got to file a petition in response to an accusation or a complaint as a defendant, you're responding to the complaint as a defendant, then this is the stuff you want to put in your documents. This is the stuff you want to talk about. Don't talk about, hey, well, I wasn't there at that night, and that don't even, hey, that's whatever. That's irrelevant. You want to state the legal issues, the constitutional issues. You know what I mean? That they're about to clearly deny. That's what you want to stand on. So, you know what I mean? On that note, man, I'm going to say peace. I know this has been kind of long. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to stop this one. I'm going to start the next video. But yeah, y'all, this is what they do, man. So I'm making this video to put y'all on point, man. Share this video, share the video, share the video. People need to know this. People need to understand this. Make this shit go viral. This is some shit that needs to go viral, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all want to share all that other stuff on YouTube and these social medias. Share this. Do your duty to share some truth. Do a good deed for once. Share some truth. You know what I'm saying? Share this video. Peace.